Hey everybody, it's Kevin from 3D Printed Props, and today we're going to be taking a look at the completed painted mask from the killer in Thanksgiving and this incredible hat that was made by the actual hatter who did the one in the movie. So excited to show you guys this stuff. Okay, so as you know, I love all things horror movies, and I've been really enjoying Thanksgiving. I know it came out last Thanksgiving, but like most horror movies, I watch them on repeat. You know, once a week I watch a certain thing, and then once a week I watch another thing. This month I seem to be stuck on Thanksgiving, the original Night of the Living Dead, and God, I don't even know the next one because I just keep watching it on repeat. What is it? Oh, Pieces, which is a really odd movie to watch on repeat. But hey, that's what I'm doing. So what I want to show you in this movie from Thanksgiving. So of course we're working on our Thanksgiving cosplay. You can take a look at that video in one of these corners. And that was a really fun one to start putting together because it's finding the equipment I'm going to be using and all the screen use stuff that I got information from the costume designer, Leslie Kavanaugh. Now, the cool thing is, and I misspoke on this before, this hat, it's pretty, I'm really excited about this hat because the hat was, of course, designed. I said it was designed by the wrong person last time. It was designed by Leslie Kavanaugh, who's the costume designer. And the hatter for it was Tamara Rigby Funk. And she made the hat for the movie and from Leslie Kavanaugh's design. And she made this hat for me. And it's using the same materials, the same, plans. I'm blanking on the word I'm trying to use. Pattern. Plans. Pattern. The same buckle. She ordered an identical buckle from the same company. So for all intents and purposes, this is an identical hat that would be used in the movie. So this is now one of the coolest pieces of costume gear that I own. And what I love about it too is she did something special on the inside. The inner sort of satin is speckled with blood, as it's the killer's hat. So this is super, super cool. Her information is below. Leslie Kavanaugh's information is below. My new thing is I'm trying to find a hat box big enough to keep this because it was on a chair over in my office. I almost threw something on it because I forgot it was there. So I need to get a hat box. Okay, so got the hat. And I have finished the mask. And this is, the sort of the main mask he wears. And I had a real fun time with this because I've been working on my airbrush skills. And to really do this mask justice, you can't really use a paintbrush, you need to use an airbrush. So what I'm going to take you through in this video is how I got this mask ready for paint and how I painted it, including what paints I used and, I'm not going to go over airbrush technique because I am not good enough with it yet, but I'm really happy with actually how I did on this. So right, let's go ahead behind the fake wall and I will show you how I did that. And if you want to print out one of these masks for yourself or his weapons, that big meat tenderizer and the axe, you can head over to my site, 3dprintedprops.com, and pick those up. There is a coupon code in the description below. Okay, so this definitely is going to need some sanding. I think I printed this at a 0.2. Usually I would do something like this at a 0.1, so it's a little finer, but I wanted to see how this thing would come out. So we're going to start with an 80 for the seam line, and then work our way to a 150, then a 180, then a 220, wherever I find it, a 320, and finish up with a 400. And yes, I wish it was that fast, but it wasn't. But you can see here, going through all those, it's pretty sharp. There are some things I need to get filled. If you're interested in seeing more helmet videos where I do a lot of sanding and step through this process, go ahead and take a look up in the corners. You'll see a playlist where you can see that. So this is this U-Pol polyester filler that I've been using lately. I love it. It dries real fast, really hard, and it doesn't have that shrinkage that you'll get with some of the other stuff. And I went a little overboard I probably shouldn't have done all that, but I think it turned out really well. Sanded it up and put on this base flesh tone. Now I use this Montana black skin. It's just easier than breaking the airbrush out to do such a big piece. But now you see we need to use the airbrush to get that contouring and the softness around the beard. I'm going to use this Vallejo paint and my airbrush and just go ahead and do the hair and the stash and stuff. You can see there's a little bit of overspray onto the skin, but that's how it is in the mask. They're not painted so sharp and amazing. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the beard. And unfortunately, I thought I hit record, and I didn't hit record for any of the contouring that I did. But I used a little bit redder paint, put a little bit more red tone in it, looking at the references, to do that contouring, and I just took it really easy. Now I'm going to go ahead and use some of this nylon strapping and put this mask on. You can't just use like the 2 ear ones like on the mask in the movies, because those are just really thin pieces of plastic. Now that little thing in the middle there by the forehead, that's to keep the eye holes away from my eyes too much, because when you've got an eye thing like this, it pokes in. And let's see how this thing looks on. I just got the final strap going here. I measured it so it's in the center. I left a little tab at the end because I like to then fold it over, because then when you put it on, it definitely stays and it's not coming loose. Okay, so balaclava on. And no, I didn't buy more balaclavas. This is actually one I found in my wife's ski bag. I'm probably gonna have to, because when ski season starts, she's gonna want this back. But I'm gonna steal it for right now. So I put the balaclava on. We've got our mask. And the interesting thing is, if you can get one of these too by contacting Leslie. You need to give the measurements, and she'll talk to you about this, that go around the outside, because it sits in front of this. So we're gonna put this on. And because of that, I think you can hear me okay. And because of that padding, it's away from my eyes, which is great because I can see, kinda. This will be a fun one to wear at the show. And I can't see where, there it is. And then we put the hat on. Oh my goodness, that looks so cool. Once I put the rest of the outfit on, this is just gonna look so amazing. And this is the difference between like this hat, the wider brim, the height of it, the fact that it is the screen hat, just really makes this look awesome. I cannot wait to do a full suit up. Okay, there is one thing I can tell you right off the bat. This is going to be a very warm cosplay with that balaclava on, the mask, the hat. Wow. I don't think it's going to be as hot as my Scream one, because that is a hot cosplay, but it's going to be a warm one. It's going to be a warm one. Okay, so next video, what are we going to be doing? I'm going to show you how I've made the weapons for his cosplay. So we're going to be doing an axe. I'm actually working on that today. We're going to be working on an axe and that meat tenderizer, which is my favorite. And I'll be showing you how I put those together, create them, model them myself, and they are ready to go, and they look fantastic. So that video will be next. And the last video will be, of course, a complete suit up with all the costume gear on, everything. And there's actually a few areas around here that are kind of authentic era looking that I think I'm going to actually go out and shoot in. I've never done that before. I usually just shoot down here in the basement or like maybe in the backyard or something like that. So that could be pretty fun. I don't know if I'm going to do it. We'll see if I can get into them and they'll let me wear this kind of thing. We'll see. I'm kind of known in the area for doing this kind of stuff, and just because I've lived here most of my life, so I don't think it's going to be a problem, but you never know. But it should be fun. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next one.